Chargers, Texans. The only thing I found interesting here, which kind of just lit up in my Bet Lab systems, was the fact that the Chargers are playing their third straight road game. Those teams are 39% straight up since 2003 and 3-6 straight up in the wild card round. So that is my, do you feel like they're tired? I mean, they did play most of their starters from their last game. Like how much of an impact that has, I'm not exactly sure, but I found it intriguing. So what are you thinking with Chargers Texans?
Yeah, we're just going to kind of go through the games in order here and kind of hit. I'll try to give at least where I'm leaning on a side, even if I'm not playing a side. So we talked about this game already. I took the under 44.5 on the hot read.
Yeah.
That's the direction I'm leaning still too. So let me kind of get into that. This is the very shaky early Saturday field game. Like I don't know which team is more this game, the Texans or the Chargers, but it's perfect. Chef's kiss that they are in this game together. I do think that both defenses have the advantage, though, especially as I dug into it. Both pass defenses, I think, really have the advantage. Run defense can be beaten, but not by these teams. The Chargers and especially the Texans have not run the ball successfully this season. The Chargers' pass defense has been really good. I think especially Jesse Minter with a chance to prep for this really anemic Texans offense that's been disappointing. Chargers have been top 5 against wide receiver 1 by DVOA, bottom 3 against wide receiver 2. They're also number 1 in the league against the right side of the field. And I think all that matches really well with Houston. CJ Stroud skews heavily toward the right side of the field. And the Texans have really one receiver. So if you can take away Nico, there is no wide receiver 2 for Houston right now. They're all injured. So I think that works pretty well. Chargers defense also been way better on the road this season. They're second in DVOA versus bottom 10 at home, actually. So Houston's number 1 at home, Chargers number 2 on the road. So a lot of that sets up for the under. Before that, two other things that I just think are key advantages for the Chargers. I just prefer the coaches for the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh has been here. I trust him. D'Amico Ryans, look, I know I got the Texans shirt on. Texans Island last year. These are both conservative coaches. I do think that helps the under, but I don't really trust D'Amico and Bobby Slowick in those decisions they're making. I think, too, Houston starts strong, but they fade hard in the second half. They're 4-13 ATS second half versus 13-4 first half. Well, the Chargers also start strong this season. So if they can hang, then when the Texans start to fade, which let's be honest, it's the Chargers, they may still fade too. That's kind of their thing. But I think that sets up well. And I do like the Chargers tackles offensively against that pass rush, just to be able to kind of hold up on the edge. So under 42.5, if you didn't get the under 44.5, I think it's still an okay play. These teams are 20-14 to the under combined on the season. Houston has had 10 games already, 44 points or below. The Chargers have had 11 games already. I mentioned kind of their home road splits for the Chargers too. Chargers home games are averaging 46 a game, road games 37 a game. So pretty big disparity where their defense is showing up. And I think that fits the Jim Harbaugh thing. Okay, we're on the road. It's a tougher environment. Let's shut it down. Let's play defense. Let's just grind it out and get the win. I do think both offenses are a little bit fraudulent here too. If you look at just when did you play a top 12 DVOA defense, Houston averaged 16 points a game in those matchups, and the Chargers were under 20. Between them, they had 12 games. Only once did either team score better than 23 points. So I think we're getting like a 20-16, 21-19 sort of game here. So I will start out the way we started last time, under 42.5, Houston and the Chargers. You can play that with a quick slip. Evan mentioned that at the top. Just click the link right there in the podcast or on the video, and also in the podcast link. It just pops it right in. The pick is right there for you. So under 42.5.
Yeah, it is interesting. We have 2 dome games in the wild card weekend with Monday Night Football, Rams, and the Vikings, and then this game, but a difference of like 5 or 6 points in the total. So I think it's probably telling you something. And we like this at 44.5. So makes sense here.